Hello lovely humans, and welcome to this space on the internet. Let me introduce you, if you haven't been so already, to the curb cut effect. The curb cut effect is named after the implementation of smooth ramp paths onto sidewalks. This obviously benefited wheelchair users who could now wheel up and down off the sidewalk safely, but there was also a broader effect. Not just wheelchair users benefited from this adjustment, mothers pushing strollers, people pushing carts, and mobility impaired people who might have had difficulty stepping on and off. So the curb cut effect is the idea that accessibility features benefit everyone, not just the people that necessitated them in the first place. Similarly, in the realm of collective liberation, we have this idea that no one is free until everyone is free. It's echoed throughout social justice movements to describe the interlaced nature of oppression of various groups. In thinking of it in reverse, it would seem to imply that the progression and successes in one domain are necessary and beneficial to all connected causes, bringing everyone closer to collective liberation. We understand that when the condition of oppressed and marginalized people is ameliorated, even those outside of the group in question are positively implicated. Some comments I've received over time here on YouTube sparked the sentiment in me that the same goes for Aspec, that is asexual and aromantic, advocacy. I'm going to read through some of the comments I've gotten and discuss how they illustrate the importance of Aspec advocacy to everyone. This commenter says, "Thanks for talking about this. I always enjoy finding more interesting LGBTQ things since I was introduced. There are so many sexualities and identities out there and so many definitions. One of my best friends is asexual." So there are two main benefits that this commenter outlines. Number one, that LGBTQ+ education can be interesting to anyone regardless of their own identification and experiences. And two, that this education is especially critical for facilitating harmonious and healthy friendships, and even opens you up to a better understanding of your friends and possibly making friends of more diverse sexual and romantic orientations. I don't identify as ace, but wow, there are so many different ways people feel attraction, and this video gives me so many ideas for questions I'd like to ask whoever comes to be the next person I'd like to consider a relationship with. Concepts that have originated in Aspec spaces, such as the split attraction model, the spectrum of attraction, and tertiary forms of attraction, are all relevant to non-Aspec people as well. As this comment illustrates, it may help them identify the way they relate to future partners. This doesn't necessarily apply to this commenter specifically, but I believe that many relationships, even the romantic, sexual, and monogamous ones, would benefit from the more nuanced acknowledgement of experiences that have been fleshed out specifically by the Aspec community. I don't think I'm in the spectrum, but hey, it can't hurt to learn. Also, you have a very soothing voice. I mean, first of all, thank you. And second of all, exactly. It cannot hurt to learn. It can't hurt to watch. A degree of education and even self-reflection or questioning when encountered with different experiences of sexuality is great. And regardless of where you do or do not fit into it all, you are the wiser for it. This comment also to me appears as a form of allyship, to be able to hear about and even seek out alternative ways of being, and recognize the way that it can, but ultimately probably doesn't, affect you and how you choose to live. I'm bi and definitely allosexual with some genders, but somewhere on the ace spectrum with others. Intense emotions, attraction, desire for physical contact and kissing, but not necessarily beyond that. I wonder if people talk much about how people's sexual, sensual, romantic attraction can differ depending on the gender of the person they're attracted to. The asexual and aromantic spectrums have laid the groundwork for thinking about attraction, relationships, partnership, and intimacy in different ways than I would argue that most of the public otherwise would. As this commenter explains, the idea of the split attraction model and the idea of split attraction between genders may be helpful to their own self-conceptualization. And I believe that if more people were more aware of these intricacies and concepts, more people would benefit from them. Because I really do think there's validity in wondering if a large portion of people do experience variations in their experience of attraction between people, between genders, or other identifiers that could be explained with the knowledge of the Aspec community. Thank you for this video. My boyfriend is ace and I've been having a hard time understanding it, and this has helped me a lot. Thank you. Allosexual and alloromantic people benefit from understanding asexuality and aromanticism because they may find themselves in relationships or having certain feelings for us. And I know that I've seen Ace Dad talk a bit about how your Aspec identity is not necessarily a barrier to fulfillment on the part of your partner. Asexuality and aromanticism are not antithetical to satisfactory and deeply important relationships. And truly, allo people benefit from education around our experiences because they get the opportunity to understand us better and potentially develop stronger relationships with us. To be in a partnership with an Aspec person is not necessarily a compromise, any more than it is for an Aspec person to be in a partnership with an Allo person. Plus, if you're in a relationship with an Aspec person and they discover or share that part of themselves with you, you can understand how you want to proceed with the relationship. This is the last comment. It says, I'm not ace, but I relate to the liking fictional characters thing a lot because I've always loved anime, video game, and cartoon characters rather than real life people. Although I think real life people look nice sometimes. You could say I just have fictophilia, although my whole orientation doesn't necessarily revolve only around fictional characters. This is an example of a specific experience under the Aspec umbrella being understood and applying more generally. In a way, I think this can humanize Aspec people when it is understood that our experiences are inherently human and can be understood. It also benefits those of you out there who can hear something about fictosexuality or the exceptions that asexual and aromantic people might have for fictional characters and their ideas of attraction, and relate to it, and understand yourself better because of it. It's also valuable, in my opinion, to be able to contextualize your identity and an Aspec person under a common ground, and also to understand the differences. Understanding the ways we are the same can help illuminate the ways that we are different. And I believe that humanization and stopping the alienation of Aspec people is critical in the fight for acceptance. Do you have any ideas about how Aspec visibility, advocacy, and representation helps allosexual and allo-romantic people, and humanity at large? Leave them in the comments, and we'll see you next time in this space on the internet. Bye!